Hello, valued audience. Welcome to Elevate Your Business, where we delve into the core of business success and discuss the tactics that pave the way to victory. I'm your host, Jarecki, and it's a pleasure to have you join us. Our show is dedicated to enlightening and equipping business owners, professionals, and aspiring entrepreneurs like you with essential knowledge and advice from experts who have achieved success in their life and business. Today's guest exemplifies this mission. So make yourself comfortable, unwind, and let's extend a hearty greeting to our esteemed guest, Brandon Wilson. Brandon is a distinguished financial advisor recognized for his expertise in franchising and business ownership and helping blue-collar business owners grow their business value and protect it with their exit in mind. Beyond his financial advisory role, Brandon is celebrated for his resilience and leadership, particularly in overcoming challenges such as leadership sabotage, which cost him significantly both financially and personally. His experiences and insights make him a valuable guest on Elevate Your Business. As Brandon joins us on the show, he'll shed light on what success means to him personally and how his definition has evolved over time, as well as one or two of his top challenges and the lessons learned associated with them. And finally, for today, we'll explore how Brandon has leveraged innovation in his business to work through challenges and achieve his goals. So join me in welcoming Brandon Wilson as we embark on another incredible episode of Elevate Your Business. And without further adu, welcome to the show, Brandon. How are you today?
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I need to hire you to do my 30-second commercial. That was good. I'll just have you go out there and sell me.
My pleasure. You've got an awesome background, and I'm excited for the audience to hear more about it today. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
to start with, can you share a little bit more about your business and yourself?
Yeah. So, I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in the middle part, and now live in the Charleston area, which is beautiful. It's a vacation spot, and we live down here, which is kind of hard to believe at times. But I got started in the financial service industry straight out of college. In 2006, I was a football guy, and I had a red shirt year to try to figure things out. And football was done, and I had no clue what I wanted to do as a 21-year-old, and kind of got talked into this business. And literally started. I moved back home to Columbia when school was done, and Mass Mutual, which is a big insurance carrier up north, huge company, I got talked into it. You know, I didn't know anything about finances. I didn't know anything about selling insurance, but they patted me on the butt and gave me a little bit of training and said, "Go get them, Tiger." And through God's grace and a lot of support, I just somehow survived. But if we fast forward now, I'm 18 years into this thing. I've got the Wilson Group, which is my baby. And the Wilson Group, we're very focused on the blue collar industries, trades, HVAC companies, plumbing companies. And then sidearm, we've got 50% ownership in Blue Water Dental Advisors, which is a firm that I set up with another guy here locally. But we do the same thing. It's the same service. And we help these business owners put a financial plan in place to help them grow the value of their business, protect it along the way, and do it in such a way that allows them to exit without getting smoked in taxes. But that's my day job. My real job is I'm a daddy. I've got a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old. We're a heavy baseball, basketball family, and great stay-at-home wife who's really the boss, if we're just gonna be honest. So, here we are. I play a little golf. I go fishing when I can, but you're just your typical dude, I guess.
Outstanding. That's a great story. And so, through that 18-year journey, my guess is you've been through quite a bit. And so, how do you define success today?
I had to think about that one, man. Well, I had to think about it and I had to articulate it. So I came up from a pretty lower middle class family in a very rural part of South Carolina and got out of school. And I think a lot of kids in that situation, you just want to go make some money. You want to know what that feels like because you grow up not. And initially, the first decade of my career was just survival and measuring everything in, dollars and cents. And the older I've got, the more I've become mission based. And, right now, one of my main goals is to change the generational thought pattern. I don't want my kids to think about what's possible the way I did coming up. I had some hard wiring that I'm still working through with some business coaches and psychologists and those type things. But, my mission today is to make sure my boys understand that, anything they want to do is pretty much possible. And I would say to add to that, over the last couple of years, I think I've become really aware of the term freedom. We all use the term freedom, and to certain people, it means certain things. I'm a big Dan Sullivan guy. He talks a lot about freedom, but at the end of the day, if you don't have freedom of your time and freedom of your relationships, what do you have? Because really all we have is time. So I think the older I get, the more I see that, whatever this career is going to help me do toward that freedom point and whatever that looks like for me, I mean, that's success in my mind. And I like my job a lot. I love my people I work with, but I love my family and I love spending time with them, period. And that's to me a success. That's success at 41-year-old Brandon.
I love it. And you've already kind of alluded to this, but I'll ask the question, how has that definition changed from 20-year-old Brandon to where you're at today?
So I think the older I get, the more I realize life is short. And 21-year-old Brandon was in pure survival mode, probably up until about 30. And we've had some tight years where faith alone just kind of drug us through. And to answer that question, that success, the measure of success has just evolved so much from a maturity level and just seeing life around me and seeing people with issues and seeing people pass, to be frank. And I feel like I'm way more aware of every day and how precious it is. And this career is a means to do those things that are just so precious to me and spend the time with the ones that I love. I know it's a very broad stroke answer, but that's just the way I see things right now. And I just see it getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I love it. And so through that, you also alluded to this, but what are one or two of those key challenges that you've had to work through and the associated lessons learned?
We could have a podcast on just challenges. So I picked an industry where the attrition rate in the first 2 years is 90%. And the financial services industry has done a bad job of keeping people around. And there's some reasons for that. But I picked an industry, there was a 90% fail rate. What's crazy about it is if you make it past the 5-year mark, there's a 92% probability you stick with it. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That's just the way it works. So inherently, I picked a hard industry. A decade or so ago, when we went out on our own to start a business from scratch, business ownership is tough. And that was a challenge that compounded the challenge of being in this industry. I would say psychologically, and also maybe some of my environment was also tough. My family was very, their military background, a lot of them, and the others were more state employees type folks. And they knew to the penny what they were going to make every paycheck. And they were just fine working 25, 30 years and getting a little pension plan. Nothing wrong with that. I'm the one off guy that said, no, I don't want that. I want to go out and I want to build something from scratch. And from the very first day of this journey into this career path, I fought resistance on the home front. I love my wife to death. And yeah, she's been a huge supporter, but she was also scared, and rightfully so. So, one of my biggest challenges was just sticking to it. I'm a hard-headed dude. I'm kind of like that rebellious teenager at times where you tell me no, and it's just going to push me harder. So I think to a certain extent, those challenges were also to my favor. But yeah, I mean, it was not an easy path to get where we are today. And I'm thankful for every step of the way.
Outstanding. And I share many of those same sentiments and some of those same experiences with you. So I can definitely relate to that. Through that journey, of course, the last 18 years, tremendous amount has changed in the world of business. How do you leverage innovation as it continues to evolve today in your business?
So when I think innovation, mine goes to technology, but that's not necessarily the definition of innovation. I'm an old school dinosaur, 41-year-old. I don't have social media. I fought doing things electronically. These types of Zoom calls, if you told me 5 years ago, I could have taken a prospective client from A to Z through our process via Zoom, I'd have been like, you're crazy, dude. There's no way. People have to see you face to face. We've got to be sitting shaking hands, which I still prefer. I would say the innovation that we've done here with what we're doing is we've gotten very nichey, and we figured out my industry. You can use the term financial advisors. Like, what does that mean? You can ask the financial advisor up the street what he does, versus the one down the street, and it's a totally different answer. It's kind of like saying I'm a doctor. Okay, you're a doctor of what? So we've innovated our practices to get very nichey so that when we tell people exactly what it is that we do and who we work with and what we're looking for, they can take that and spread it out to the public for us. So We've been very innovative in the way that we've approached the market and the way that we've tried to differentiate ourselves as far as what we're doing, especially here locally. In Charleston, we've done the research. There isn't really any other financial planning firms that do the work we do with business owners on the level we do it. So I don't know if that answers the question. Let me just dovetail back to what I said originally, though. I'm a dinosaur, but I'm not an idiot. I make some dumb decisions, but I hire who's. I've got a chief marketing officer and she handles my LinkedIn. I've got people that do certain things for me that are necessities. It's just not my sweet spot. So I don't spend time on it. I have to hire somebody that's better at that one piece than me because I just beat my head against the wall trying to do it myself.
That's part of the journey, right? As owners, CEOs, presidents of our respective organizations, we still have to surround ourselves with partners, with team members, et cetera, that support that mission. And the best leaders actually complement themselves with people that fill those gaps. So, as a leader, what I'm hearing is you're still incredibly innovative. You're just acknowledging it and hiring the right people, creating the right partnerships to fill those gaps. Is that a fair way to summarize that?
Yeah, get the heck out of the way. Like, get out of their way. Hire the right people and let them do their thing.
So, if there was one takeaway to leave our audience that they must consider through their journey of business ownership and entrepreneurship, what would that be?
Dream big, have a big vision. Why not? Just why not? I mean, if somebody before you has done what you're trying to do, they've done it. You can do it. I know you asked for one, but I've got a second one that's really vital to me is do the hard things in the first part of the day. I'm an ice bath and you could do some research and some folks out there might tell you it's going to kill you. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or a medical doctor, but I want to start the day off with something really hard so the rest of the day just feels like a breeze. And I stick to that. I think there's something to it. I don't know. Maybe there's validity there or not, but it works for me.
I think there's probably differences for each of us. I share that work early, play later. And that
Yep.
goes right in line with what you're saying is get the hard stuff out of the way first and then work on the fun stuff, go to the play stuff from there. And then it feels like you've accomplished everything by the time you finish that day. So I love that.
Your day just gets easier. It just gets easier from there. Yeah.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share for our audience?
No, I just appreciate and I'm honored that you reached out to me and I hope we can do this again. But this has been great. This has been great. Keep plugging. If you just do the right things by people, and I've got a lot of faith. I'm still working on being a better Christian, but that's big to me. And just wake up, put the feet on the ground and go. Just keep it moving one step at a time.
Well, it's been my pleasure and my honor in getting to know you and your business and your philosophies. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you all for joining us today, and a special thank you to our incredible guest, Brandon Wilson, for sharing his insights, experiences, and business success tactics with us. We hope this conversation has left you inspired and motivated to embrace the challenges of entrepreneurship with resilience, innovation, and adaptability. Remember, success comes in many forms, and it's essential to define it for yourself. Take the lessons shared by Brandon to heart as you navigate your own entrepreneurial journey. Embrace change, seek out opportunities for growth, and always be willing to adapt to the ever-evolving landscape of business. Thank you once again to our incredible guest speaker, Brandon Wilson, and thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time as we continue exploring the stories behind incredible entrepreneurs. Stay resilient and stay innovative, everyone. Have a great day.